your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!
Welcome to the Stop and Listen podcast. I am your host, Jamie. How are you doing this evening? So, from our the last episode I put out, it was all about Christian news and stuff and some of my thoughts, and it didn't do too well. And I actually lost a subscriber, which is fine. And I've since gained 2 back, so it all works out. I don't want to beat anyone over the head with who I am, but I mean, when it's relevant, and also want us to kind of grow together. And I had some thoughts that we need to examine about religion, about Christianity. Okay, so whether it's an atheist or agnostic or an anti-theist, as I like to use, think of things through their perspective, my Christian brothers and sisters who may be watching. So if you would ask them to name a Christian, your average non-believer on the street, what are they going to say? The Pope? Joel Osteen? Right? That I guarantee you that would probably be the top 2 by far. So those 2 are the worst examples of Christianity for 2 completely different reasons. And so a lot of the Christian scholars, they scoff at Joel Osteen and they don't go completely after him. And they're trying to act Christian, but when a man is an abomination and is making your faith look bad and making it harder to actually bring other people to Jesus, because if they think that is what that is, then understandably why people would want to stay away. Of course, the Pope, the Catholic Church, and their dubious history, you have that. Say you've got a very informed little atheist out there, right? And you see the things that are happening around the world. For some reason you're interested, right? So, Christian man sentenced to life in prison for blasphemy over Facebook posts using a stolen phone. So somebody apparently stole his phone and posted a blasphemous meme, and he's been sentenced to life in prison in Pakistan. 1/3 of Christians arrested in Iran targeted for possessing multiple Bibles, report. And in Africa, Christians are slaughtered routinely. Christian converts slaughtered for confessing faith in Jesus. Okay? All right, so pretend we have a non-believer. You think, who are Christians? We got the Pope, and we got Joel Osteen. And then around the world, people are slaughtered. Then, look at what Christians say they believe. Love God and love one another. The 2 greatest commandments. And do we do that? It's not good enough to just not be hateful. You have to go out and love. You have to show your neighbors love. Okay? You see the suffering that is going on in our very country, and then look at Joel Osteen and his jets. And there are many, many pastors out here in your community that wishes they were Joel Osteen. We are not representing ourselves well, fellow Christians. We allow evil to pass by us every day and we don't look at it. We put our heads down. Shame on us. Shame on us. I had a thought today. I listened to Kirk Cameron on the Tim Pool podcast, and I was shocked to see that combination. Tim Pool, I kind of assumed he was atheist generally, and he actually corrected that on the show today. He's agnostic. He's not a Christian. And Kirk Cameron is a heartthrob in the 80s, became a Christian, and makes Christian content. Seems like a great man. And I've never seen Kirk Cameron on a normal podcast that I listen to. And it was very good, very good. I mean, seems like a great man. Kirk Cameron, he's trying to raise money for a project where he's trying to put on a television show for children that is, positive. And Tim Pool said, all right, our super chat. So I guess I'm not exactly sure how it works. Maybe someday I'll find out myself. But or people were throwing money, donating money. So he was eliciting donations from his listeners for Kirk Cameron's venture. And then Tim Pool's like, yeah, and I'll match everything. And he just going up. And Kirk Cameron was so thankful. That's sort of like, and it hit me though. It's like, okay, so you got Tim Pool. If you listen to him, he talks super positively about Christians, even though he's not one. And Adam Carolla, not ardent, but an atheist. And I've never heard him even say that he was like agnostic. I don't know. Like, he doesn't talk about his own beliefs very much anymore, but he used to. But he sure talks about Christians a lot, and Christian ethics, and seems to say, and he said repeatedly that we need more of that in this country. And Joe Rogan's the biggest one because he's been absolutely insulting to Christians for many, many years and is softened and softened and softened, and to the point where it sounds like he's opening himself up to faith. Anyway, Joe Rogan, he allowed, not only allowed, he encouraged Oliver Anthony to read the Bible on his podcast. He's been speaking he's been speaking much more positively for sure. Anyway, then we've also had Jordan Peterson, talk in a way about God, and I think that's kind of transformed some people, giving people a way and in. I think it did. So we've got these people, these mouthpieces. Joe Rogan with his massive influence. Carolla with his damn big influence. Holy shit, okay. Anyway, so Joe Rogan with his massive following. Now, then I said Adam Carolla. I'm gonna clean up in the edit. Because like Adam Carolla, they kind of started out on even par. Like Adam Carolla really was like the first podcaster. Only Tom Green, in a way. And then Carolla, and then Rogan. And then Rogan exploded. And Carolla's, maintained a very solid like fan base. When I said Rogan's massive following, okay, so for example, on YouTube he has 16.1 million followers. And then Adam Carolla has a mere 300,000. It's like, wow. That's pretty significant. And Tim Pool has like 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. And so anyway, my point is, we have people who have a voice who aren't Christians who say we need more Christians. We need more Christian ethics, Christian morality in this country. So maybe we need some new Christians to step up. And there are some amazing Christians that are out in like the media, that do the podcast, that do YouTube. We have a great presence. But Christians, it's time to stop putting our heads down and put our shoulders back, our chin up, and take a step forward. We need to stand tall. We need to lead. We need these people with these voices and people like them who are just skeptical, don't know, fine. We're not going to force ourselves on them, but we should lead. We'll stand in the front. They'll get behind us because they support us, and we need to lead and get the shrapnel. That's what Jesus said. Jesus said, Paul showed it in his life, and the other apostles as well, but Paul was a little bit more, we got a little bit more documentation on Paul. He said it wasn't going to be easy. We're going to be persecuted. It is not a walk in the park. It is not Joel Osteen. We need to step up, Christian brothers and sisters, and start leading. Stop putting our heads down. Stop being silent. Stop being quiet. You don't have to shove your beliefs down people's throats, but lead with your morality. And of course, be open about your faith. We are charged to be disciples. That doesn't mean you never talk about it, but you just got to do it right. You got to do it right. It's very difficult. I've got a lot of problems with churches. I stopped going to one church when the leak about the Roe versus Wade being overturned happened, or when it was actually overturned. No mention of that. Christians being put in prison. No mention of that. I've tried a lot of churches out in my area, and they all fail. They all fail pretty much. Have you ever seen the movie Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon about Johnny Cash, his life? Okay, so this is a scene where Johnny Cash and his band are trying out for the first time.
Yes, I know when Jesus saved me, saved my soul. The very moment he forgave me, made me whole. He took away my heavy burdens. Lord, he gave me peace within. Peace within. Well, Satan can't make me doubt it. I won't doubt it. It's real and I'm gonna shout it. I'm gonna shout it. Well, I was there with...
Hold on. I hate to interrupt, but you guys got something else. I'm sorry. I can't market gospel no more.
So that's it?
Right here.
I don't
This
record
work-
material that doesn't sell, Mr. Cash, and gospel like that doesn't sell.
So is it the gospel or the way I sing it?
Both.
Well, what's wrong with the way I sing it?
I don't believe you.
See? Right
I
there.
don't believe in God.
I don't believe you. I've been at church and thought that.
Come on, let's go. No. I want to understand. I mean, we come down here, we play for a minute, and he tells me I don't believe in God.
You know exactly what I'm telling you. We've already heard that song 100 times. Just like that. Just like how you sang it.
Well, he didn't let us bring it home.
Now, this is a life-defining moment right here for Johnny Cash. This is my favorite part of the movie. I was always really drawn to it, and I guess it hit me because it's more profound than I even realized, because I never put the two and two together, the point I'm going to make here in a moment.
Bring it home. All right, let's bring it home. He was hit by a truck, and you were lying out in that gutter dying, and you had time to sing one song. Huh? One song people would remember before your dirt. One song that would let God know what you felt about your time. One song that would sum you up. You telling me that's the song you'd sing. That same Jimmy Davis tune we hear on the radio all day about your peace within and how it's real and how you're going to shout it? Or would you sing something different? Something real. Something you felt. Because I'm telling you right now, that's the kind of song people want to hear. That's the kind of song that truly saves people.
Right there. People are broken. Christians have stood by and allowed our culture to change. That doesn't mean you can't involve other religions or non-religions in that culture. There's room for that. But Christians have just went in hiding in this free country. So there's so much evil in the world. If someone actually does stumble into a church out of curiosity or pain or just lost and doesn't know where else to turn. Now, whenever I go to a church, I mean, they're always talking to that person. They don't ignore that person. They talk a lot about that person. Hey, if you're new, we'll give you a water bottle, and we'll get your email address, and that's nice. But what about the message, right? If you had a broken person in the audience that had opened their heart enough to let God in, and you as a pastor can't stop asking for donations, or you're just looking for the applause line, telling jokes and skits and shit, shame on you. Shame on you. I'm not a pastor, though. But there's more I can do. I'm not sure how, but there is. There's a lot more I can do. I don't have kids, not yet. That may not be in God's plans for me, but maybe I can make a positive difference in my culture. I mean, one reason is, I work a lot of hours, folks, and I do this too. And I can do more. I'm just gotta figure out how to do this so efficiently. So there's my opening statement. There's my call to arms. Not literally. Stand up. Put your shoulders back. Put your chin out. And look evil in the eyes. And send it back to where it came from.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks. No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!